Hi there everyone, this is Lars with a quick announcement. Originally this video that you're about to see was a part of a much larger segment, a much larger rant that was wonderful and complete and flowed beautifully until someone decided to come along and block it. And if you've kept on getting weird notifications saying, oh, there's a video, and then suddenly there's nothing there, I keep getting blocked by Victor Entertainment for reasons that are completely unclear, and there's no way that I can stop it. So I am breaking apart my lovely creation into a couple of different segments. But you'll still get my rant, and hopefully you'll still enjoy it, because I know I had a ton of fun putting it together, and I hope that you will have a ton of fun listening to it. So, without any further ado, let's get on with the show! Now we finally come to it at last, the title purpose of this video. The review of Ready Player One. Some of you may be asking yourselves at this point why it took so long in getting to my review when I could have just made this video sweet and short and kept my thoughts to a possible bare minimum 3 minutes and let you know how Ready Player One is. However, simply giving my opinion of Ready Player One seriously downplays the importance and possible impact both the book and the movie will have on the genre of life through a video game stories. You'll soon see why. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline takes place in a dark version of the Earth's future, in the year 2044 to be exact, where people escape the terrible reality and conditions of an overpopulated and overpolluted Earth by diving into the virtual reality of the Oasis. The Oasis is not just a massive game, it's an alternate reality that people can plug into with a virtual reality headset and special gloves that allow you to feel and access this world that you now inhabit. The Oasis has come to fill the needs of schools, entertainment, vacations, businesses, shoppings, and basically everything. Numerous worlds exist that you can fly or teleport to engage in all of your fantasies. And a fun bonus is that you can customize your avatar within the game and you can be whatever you choose. Some people even decide to become giants or dragons, but only really if you have the right kind of money or the right kind of coding. So most people just go with the manageable humanoid avatar, like Gandalf the Grey. Sweet choice. Suffice it to say, this is a place where whatever you can imagine or program becomes a reality for everyone. Though the Oasis encompasses just about everything of what constitutes a normal life, the rules and statistics of the game Dungeons & Dragons run throughout the entire story, which I personally find kind of annoying. So we get to see levels, weapons, armor, classes, and so forth that literally was ripped right out of the guidebook. This is because the eccentric creator of the Oasis, James Halliday, and his buddies were basically the kids from Stranger Things, but with boring lives. Before the crazy James Halliday dies, he sets up a special game that he has placed throughout the Oasis. The game is to find the Easter egg. Oh! He programmed this Easter egg into the Oasis and has it set up that whoever accesses it first will gain complete control over the game, and they will also inherit all of Halliday's wealth and his controlling shares of the Oasis company. The Easter egg, however, can only be accessed if you're able to follow the special clues that he has hidden within a special journal, and you then play your way through 3 grueling challenges to gain 3 special keys. And all of these challenges are based in 80s culture and games. With so much power and wealth on the line, every gamer, nobody, and evil corporation is after the Easter egg. The pro gamers who seek the egg call themselves Gunters, which can only make you think of this evil penguin. And they fight against the Sixers of the Innovation Online Industries, who wish to seize control of the Oasis and turn it into a massive cash cow. Yeah, milk those udders. This is because Halliday made access to the Oasis beyond cheap for everyone and relied on advertising to fund the massive network. While Wade Watts, our protagonist, also known as Parsifal within the game, is unable to do anything about the hunt at all because he's stuck on a high school world. So he just obsesses over Halliday and the Easter egg from afar. That is, until one day he discovers that the first challenge, or quite literally the first dungeon in the quest, is on his home world of high school. Using the clues that he has meticulously gathered and memorized by basically somehow pulling off the impossible, memorizing every single video game and movie from the 80s, he's able to beat it. And in fact, he's able to even meet his online crush, Miss Artemis. And as the first to beat the dungeon, he is also the first to go up against a lich in a game of Joust. Yeah, really interesting. And no, not cool medieval jousting. I'm talking about little 80s stuck on an ostrich jousting. Yeah, I had to look it up on the wiki. Once he does that, he levels up big time and gets the resources he needs to pursue the quest further. But once he does that, all hell breaks loose. Wade soon has to team up with Artemis and other Gunters to beat the Sixers in the other 2 challenges and beat the game in its unique tests, such as quoting and acting out all the scenes of Monty Python in the search for the Holy Grail and doing it with 100% accuracy. That is something I actually can do. In order to gain access to the Easter egg. Oh. In the process, Wade develops a crush on Artemis, who didn't see that one coming, and he gets turned down for your own typical stupid YA reasons, which leads to a pointless chapter about masturbation. I'm not making this up. And he decides that after his house gets blown up, he'll just create a fake identity and infiltrate the Sixers in the real world. And doing that, he sees that life really sucks outside of the Oasis, and without his crush Artemis, he soon starts wondering, is any world worth living in? Yeah, basic teenage nonsense. Well, after some depression and some soul searching and pulling off a few crazy stunts, we get the epic video game battle that we've always been wanting ever since Super Smash Bros. First premiered, and the fate of the Oasis is decided. Oh, that is the climax, everyone, and that's where the story ends. For a debut novel, this actually is a pretty good start. There are plenty of problems with Ready Player One as a story, especially where the romance element is concerned. However, what we need to focus on at this point is the Oasis itself. It is a realm of limitless possibilities, which I really go for things like that. But even still, I understand that certain boundaries need to be set, and you need to take some time to give good world building within a universe. Even an expansive universe needs to have some sort of world building. All Trekkies know this. So the big problem that we find in here with this potentially limitless universe is really, why is D&D the basis for everything? I understand that it's the favorite game of the creator, but when almost anyone is allowed to program whatever they want into this world, why does Dungeons & Dragons get the final say? I know from experience that the moment that you throw spaceships into the mix when you're doing a D&D campaign, everything changes. You have to change all the stats and everything, and it's a bit of a mess. So really, you kind of got to expand your horizons, because otherwise, if you go by D&D game mechanics, your world begins to feel clunky, especially within a video game. And the Oasis is a clunky game. Sorry, but it is. Furthermore, Klein expects you to have the understanding of the intricacies of everything D&D, from how power-ups work, special effects, and everything else. Nobody but someone who has been a game master for the past 30 years knows any of that stuff off the top of their head, and any such game master does not talk to anyone outside of their guild, the Crescent Bloody Moon Swords of Grashnanak. And, of course, his mother, in whose basement he still resides, wearing the same clothes he had when he graduated from high school. That is not a relatable basis for a game! Furthermore, as the characters level up and travel to different worlds, it's hard to tell what really makes a powerful character. Sure, Parsifal may have a +5 fire damage sword and whatnot, but because I know at least a thing or two about D&D and how World of Warcraft works, I know that a good bomb or a critical fail is going to wipe this kid out. And where's the health bar, for crying out loud? What about his magic counter? What are his class and race perks? We know absolutely nothing about that. What about summonings and guilds and special events, specialized armor, customized items, familiars? Where on earth are they? Klein, for crying out loud, you dropped the ball on this. If you're going to add D&D elements into a game, you better go whole hog, because otherwise this is just bland and clunky. You need to be consistent. By golly, with the holes within the Oasis itself, it's a little wonder hackers haven't cracked the coding of this system itself and basically made themselves into little angsty Kirito clones or a Lord Ain's copy and basically gone all game breaker to crash the system and steal the Easter egg. Oh. Okay, moving on. Now then, there are a lot of nitpicks I could get into, but that is your duty, my good students, because I want you to discover things for yourselves and not have me spoon-feed you everything. I will say this, though. Ready Player One could have benefited a little more from research into massive multiplayer games. As far as the comparison between Ready Player One and the other stories go, it's most akin to Sword Art Online. Log Horizon deals with very gamer problems, and Tron dives into deep philosophical matters. Recovery of an MMO junkie and The King's Avatar are all about dealing with the world through video games, which Wade and his friends never really do, and they are not stuck in the Oasis against their will, and they're definitely not transported to another world entirely like an Overlord. This places the story more in the confines of Sword Art Online's later story arcs, especially like Gun Gale Online. Another way in which Ready Player One and SAO are similar is that they both try to tackle too much, and they pull off very little in the process. Granted, Ready Player One ditches the angsty problems covered in SAO's first arc, but odd teenage romances online, corporate takeovers, hacking, game building, revenge, and all these others are addressed. The problem for both is time. You can only do so much with one story unless you go the route of epic fantasy with a really long series. Without that time, so many concepts are left underdeveloped in both stories, and so we are left with a pornographic asana scene and a chapter about Wade talking about masturbation. But now you know my opinion of Sword Art Online. I don't really like it. So how can I then say that I enjoyed Ready Player One when I say that they're very similar? The thing is this, is it comes down to the adventure that Wade Watts finds himself in. With Sword Art Online, the most solid, straightforward story is the time when everyone is stuck in Aincrad, and if they die in the game, they die in real life. After that, it kind of meanders. Whereas with Ready Player One, the story just, once it gets going, you're all along for the ride. And so even though even though the story's full of lackluster world building and the likes, the story was good enough. The central quest, and Wade as Parzival is a pretty passable protagonist. Granted, there are times when he definitely gets on my nerves. I definitely like his friends way more than him, but he never got on my nerves as much as Kirito did. And so that's how I can say that I like the book better than Sword Art Online. And definitely the book picks up in its third act. The third act is just, that is good storytelling. Now then, to come to my prediction for the movie. Though I love Steven Spielberg's work, I don't think this movie can deliver on what the book was lacking. There's just not enough time. But what it can do is it can enhance the good parts within the story. It looks like the jousting, for instance, is going to get a serious upgrade, and we get more action throughout. And Wade doesn't come across quite as annoying, which is another definite plus. I think that this movie will rank for me probably as a 6 out of 10. If I'm lucky, a 7. Unless Steven Spielberg pulls out his amazing 80s magic, which if he does, I will love it. Because, I mean, after all, this is a tribute to him, and the last tribute to himself was the Animaniacs, which continues to be some of the best cartoon gold ever made. So I guess here's to hoping. But why is all of this even necessary? Why have I talked for so long about this? Well, here's the thing. 2018 represents a possible renaissance for life through a video game stories. Not only is Ready Player One garnering more attention, and it's about to get a movie, but Sword Art Online is getting another season plus a spin-off, and Overlord is already knocking things out of the park with its second season, and Log Horizon has been greenlit for more content. Essentially, more attention is being given to this genre than we've ever gotten before, or I should be more specific that it's really concentrated within this one year. This means that more stories of this type are going to crop up. What remains to be seen is if they will be garbage or of good quality. And so I feel that by addressing the different ways in which these stories are told and by recognizing the flaws and virtues of the predecessors, especially the very notable ones, I hope that young writers will be able to deliver us quality video game stories in the future. Yes, I know that the hype is going to be right now, and people who start writing the stories right now won't be riding the hype train, but a renaissance can last for quite some time. I mean, we just have to look at what Disney did with its renaissance period, and it can be the same for writers right now. Right now is the time for young writers to really look at what's been done and feel the drive, feel the hype, see what viewers and readers really want to see in a life through a video game story, and capture those elements and fold them into a fun and refreshing tale. If you can do that, even if you are a novice writer, I guarantee people will line up to read your story, because now is the time. This genre is ready to take off once again, and I really want to see it filled with good quality stories. I hope that you found this video educational and insightful, and I really hope that some of you go out to write some fantastic life through a video game stories. And I really want you guys to go on out there and do your own research into this. What I've presented in this video is just a fraction of the research that I have done. There's so much more that can be said about this. Seriously, there could be like a college class set up all just around this genre. And if such a class were to be made, I'm pretty certain that it would be a hit on campus. So to any of you writing teachers out there who just happen to be seeing this, please make a class out of this topic. This is the fun and engaging kind of class that students need to get off their duffs and actually do something productive with their lives. So that's all for now. Please comment down below and tell us what you thought about this video, and especially what you think about the genre of life through video game stories. Let us know what your predictions are going to be for the upcoming movie Ready Player One. And also let us know what kind of video games you think would be fun to incorporate into stories. And I highly encourage you to check out our podcast episodes at Podbean, Camille's Harem. There's some hilarious things that we get to talk about. You get to hear terrible fan fictions being read, and we provide some pretty good novice writing advice. And if you want to be visually stimulated, go check out our Tumblr, and if you want to be mentally stimulated, check out our Pinterest. The links are provided in the description box. And finally, please do send us links to your favorite bad fanfics via our Twitter at Camille's Harem, so that way we can continue to entertain you with the worst stories that are out there. So until next time, tschüss.